The Alienware Advanced Gaming Keyboard. Is Dell coming back swinging? I'm Rio Gion, and welcome to Rio Gion Keyboards. The overall design of the keyboard is simple and minimalistic, with a more professional style font and a very subtle Alienware logo in the right hand corner. I also like the embossed Alienware on the bottom right of the keyboard. It gives the keyboard this stealth look. Alienware decided to save the backlighting for the RGB version of the board, which is alright, but I do wish if they were to go with a white backlighting, it would really make the keyboard stand out. The ISO layout of the board makes it harder to find replacement keycaps if you're into modding your keyboards, and I do like the inclusion of dedicated volume buttons, but I find it odd that the media controls and window disable are bound to the F keys. It's nice that there's a dedicated bank of macro keys on the side. This is a very good selling point for MMO gamers and video editors. I feel like this keyboard should have been a floating key design because of how sunken the edges are. It's a plastic construction throughout the board, which is comparable to most of the keyboards in the market. I would take this keyboard to the office because it's actually really quiet, and the look of the keyboard won't be catching too many eyes. The keycaps is the typical thin ABS keycaps that you would find in most gaming keyboards. Alienware play it safe when it comes to keycaps, but I noticed there's a space in the font of the keycaps. So this could be one of two things. It's either this is laser etch. If this is the case, then the font should not rub off over time. Or if this is something like a sticker, then it will rub off over time. From me carefully and slowly trying to feel out the keycaps, I noticed slight grooves when feeling the keycaps. It could just be me, or it could be that they're using some kind of sticker for the font, and that will wear out over time. They decided to go with cherry stabilizer, which is a great move because it makes the keyboard easier to clean and replace keycaps for. From my time using different mechanical keyboards, I find that the worst keyboard combinations to clean and replace keycaps is a closed design board with co-star stabilizers. At least here, you get cherry stabilizers, which is nice. I really like the addition of two flip-up feet. It gives the keyboard this extra bit of variety, and the rubber pads really do keep the keyboard planted during heavy gaming and typing sessions. The back isn't usually the selling point of the board, but in this case I think it is because I know that there are certain people that would really dig this feature of having 3 different positions instead of the usual 2. The cable is the standard rubber cable, which is alright. I'm guessing the reason why they went with rubber is to save costs, and I'm starting to think that people are trending away from braided cable, which is a win-win for them. And the same can be said with the silver tip USB. The keyboard technically does have RGB lighting because there is a light bar on the bottom of the keyboard that gives it this very nice underglow effect. I think the reason why they did this is because of the K95 with the light bar on the top. Having an RGB light bar on the bottom does give it a very nice effect, but it's often not that usable, because with backlighting in some keyboards you can program it to show certain keys when you're playing video games or when you edit videos. The RGB light bar is mainly here for show, and I really hope they get around to making the software for the keyboard. As of the time when I filmed this video, Alienware hasn't released the software for the keyboard yet. I looked at many places and still can't find the software. I thought it was going to be an easy type up the name of the keyboard on Google, but I couldn't find anything. Then I read the manual and it sort of tells me where to look for the software. And when I went onto the site, there is no driver for the keyboard or something like that. I guess for those that decided to buy the keyboard right away, you're gonna have to wait and hope until they release the software. This is one of those keyboards where I find myself coming up with excuses not to type on the keyboard. It feels gummy, and in some cases the keys are downright linear. I want to say I like typing on this keyboard, but I just can't do it. If you type on short bursts, then it does feel good, but it quickly wears out as time went in. After the break-in period, I still don't really enjoy typing on this keyboard. Brown switches tend to be good at both typing and gaming, but this is not the case. If you tend to type a lot with your keyboard, then I suggest buying a keyboard to mainly type on, while keeping this keyboard for gaming sessions. As a gaming keyboard, this keyboard is good with games that requires you to hold keys for a long time. For FPS gamers, this keyboard is alright. If you have to bunny hop a lot or move in and out of cover, then consider something else. For RTS gamer, this keyboard leans towards the key being stiff, but to the point where you won't make too many mistakes. Then again, it's kinda gummy, so your mileage may vary. For MMO gamers, this keyboard is good because you get a bank of macro keys, assuming you get the keyboard and wait for the software to be released. The same can be said if you're looking for a keyboard to edit videos with. Now, here's the thing. For $59.99, this isn't a bad price for the board because you get macro features, a cool underglow light bar to show off. Yeah, the keyboard has its flaws, but the price makes up for it. If you want a mechanical keyboard and you don't want to spend big bucks, then this won't be your first choice, but it's also not your last choice either. Anyways, if you liked the video, please give this video a like. If you have some extra cash and you want to support the channel, then I have a link to my Patreon page down below. As always, subscribe for more awesome content.